fever? Did you have a cough? Did you have unnatural exhaustion? I don't know. Did you have that? I had it twice.
Fine, I also didn't get shots that might have caused.
You don't
like
even exist in the grand world of things. Like, you don't interact with humans. Luckily, we're lucky you don't.
But I'm being blamed as if I'm.
You would have. You would have.
But you went
to places and thought it was okay to not protect others because of your selfishness. That bothers me.
I never read about mass studies. None of the masks don't work. So I mean, don't.
So the fact that the medical community has warned them forever to protect them from disease, and it has kept doctors and nurses alive for millennia, that is bunk. They were just doing that for a fashion statement. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it's all unscientific and masks don't work. And so whether you come along to that idea someday because you choose to read more about masks or not, it's out of my control.
I don't know. I've seen filtration systems, and they've worked for eons to filter bad things out of the air that we breathe. A mask is a small filtration system. It may not filter everything out, but like filtration systems on water, it filters out many harmful things.
Supposed COVID stuff just like a cleaning that's filtered out of mosquitoes.
Well, if you don't believe in COVID, how does that?
I'm
How
saying
can you
using
even make
your
that?
I'm saying in the world where
No. You
COVID
can't
is
have both of those
I'm
arguments.
saying it
You
doesn't
don't
exist.
believe in COVID.
No, it doesn't. But the people that do,
So
they're-
COVID might be way bigger if it did exist, because you don't even know if it exists. So
But
you're saying
no,
this
what
thing
there's-
that you don't think exists is a certain size. How do you get to argue
Look at how
that?
big they say the size is.
Well, you don't believe in it.
It doesn't matter. I'm saying they say the size is this, the mask is this. Well, therefore, it's a mosquito going through a chain link.
Nobody has ever said that
Non-scientific.
believes in COVID. Nobody who knows that they've seen COVID under a microscope and knows what it is has ever said that, Scott. So
Nobody's
only
seen
people,
COVID.
yes, they have, Scott. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. There are pictures of COVID. They know it has spikes on it. They know how it adheres to things. They know how it mutates. They know a lot about COVID. It is a very well-studied virus. They understand COVID very well. Not completely, but very well. Probably one of the most studied viruses in the history of the world. By scientists, by the way. Scientists.
Resources are scientists.
No, they're not. Where'd they get their degree? From your left foot? I mean, like, what kind of degree did they get? Where did they become a scientist? What makes them a scientist? What makes them a scientist? You don't believe in school. You don't believe in credentials. You don't believe in learning.
These are
You don't
logical
believe...
fallacies by bashing me.
I'm not bashing you. I'm just saying, what kind of credentials would make you follow somebody? They'd have to be uneducated. Doctors of what? Of what? In what country?
In America.
And
All
what-
around the world, but I'm not going to say they're
No.
doctors of virology because that's a nonsense field.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're real medical.
Oh. And what does that entail? Not going to school in your world? I don't know what it means to you because you don't believe in science. And you don't believe in...
attacks against me don't change the
No,
fact that they're
I'm
doctors.
asking what kind of people you believe, because you don't believe real people. You don't believe people that have gone to school and studied medicine
You
and
said
done
they're
things.
doctors, so
But that
why-
doesn't mean they've studied medicine. I don't know. Maybe they went to like the Congolese school of somebody doesn't believe in medicine. I don't know what they got their doctorate from because they didn't get it in medical school. I mean, they didn't get it from an accredited place because all medicine believes in virology, Scott. That is a fact. It is.
falling into disrepute every day. More and more people are realizing it's a scam.
No, that's not true. But the fact is, Scott, is the things you believe have no proof. There's no visible proof of anything you believe, yet you believe it. And you know what? It's because beliefs are much stronger than facts. Our brains get a little kernel of a belief in our brain, and we hold on to it so tightly that any fact can't refute it.
That's why you believe in masks.
Yeah.
You know, the size of the viruses that it's describing.
You don't believe in virus? How can it?
I'm talking about people that believe in the viruses.
Scott,
The mask wouldn't stop the virus based on the size of the
the
virus. compared to
virus
the
is
mask.
in mucus and spittle, and that gets stopped by the mask.
Okay, well, what's the part that stops it from going through the eyes? People getting it through the eyes, isn't that?
Glasses.
We're wearing glasses.
Yeah, we had splash shields in front of us so people couldn't spew it on us. We wore glasses. Some people wore
Well, how
goggles.
come the signs didn't say to wear goggles? The signs just said to wear a mask. Why didn't they say goggles?
Scott, have you ever been mitigating harm? There's no way you can be 100% free from harm ever in any way. There's nothing that is 100% free from harm. There is mitigation of harm. You lower your risks of harm. Like putting on a seatbelt doesn't mean we're not going to get in an accident. It means we have a better chance of surviving an accident. It is mitigating harm. It is not eliminating potential
Because
harm.
we're going too fast to survive a crash without a seatbelt. But that
There's no
an
level.
imaginary virus is different than the reality of a car going too fast.
No, it's really not. They both exist. Just because.
When you're just taking the word of somebody else's system.
Scott, I have freaking personal lived evidence of it. What do you have? Nothing. I lived it. I experienced it personally twice. I don't know what the fuck how that's not evidentiary to you. How is that not evidence?
I know you got sick. Fine,
No,
you
no,
got
no.
sick.
I had
Flu,
COVID.
whatever.
No, I had
It was a
COVID.
replanted
But
flu,
flu
whatever.
is a virus, Scott. You don't believe
No,
in
I
viruses.
don't believe in flu either, but I'm just saying they rebranded the flu and called it COVID.
Because you don't understand science doesn't mean it doesn't exist, Scott. Just because you can't understand something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Because you can't understand space doesn't mean space doesn't exist. It just means you can't understand it. You don't have to come up with some alternate unfact to dispute it just because you can't understand it. That's what religion is, man. We've already done that route. That's already the crapshoot that led us to this hellhole. We don't need that
I'm
shit.
studying of germ theory and COVID and all that is by listening and studying doctors. I'm not studying homeless people and getting their views on it. I'm getting it from doctors and scientists. Most of them were banned on different levels because it was against the narrative of selling the vaccines and all this other crap. But that doesn't mean they weren't doctors. They were just the ones that were censored. Therefore, everyone you heard were the ones that weren't censored because they all said the same thing. So that's why they weren't censored. But there's tons of people that did get censored that said not what you
That
you
doesn't
never
mean they
heard
were
their views.
right just
You
because
never
they
got
got
to hear-
censored.
You never got to hear their
That
views 'cause
doesn't mean they were right,
censored.
Scott. It doesn't mean they were right. Just because they got censored
Well, it
doesn't mean they were
It
right.
doesn't mean that your views are right just because everyone you listen to didn't
Scott,
get censored.
Scott, I lived the experience twice. They said there is a bug out there. It will cause these symptoms. And if you get it, you can run the risk of getting other people sick. I got it. I got Cammy. Who did I get? Ryder got it. He gave it to me. We had the symptoms they predicted. It felt like that. It did not feel like a flu. It was different. It was unique to that. And we tested positive. What part of that is so unbelievable? What part of that can't you wrap your head around to understand that it is evidence?
The fact that germs don't cause disease, for one.
Okay, first of all, Scott, that has nothing to do with the evidence I just gave you.
No,
None.
part
None.
of it is people wanting to be part of something and not miss out. And to be part of it is to join in and do all this stuff and get just to be part of this experience, whether it's
And just like you want to be part of the crazy crew, and so you are determined to think the most stupidest thing on planet Earth, you are. You are the leader of the crazy crew,
I'm
Scott.
determined to believe it's what makes most sense to me.
None of that makes sense, though. The only thing that makes sense to you is the least believable shit on the planet is what you believe every single time. It's always wrong, Scott. It is always 100% of the time wrong.
What are the odds of that?
Well, 100% at this rate, because I've seen the evidence over a long, long period of
It's
time.
entirely possible people get sick and other people get sick near them because they're vibrating on a
What
certain
makes
level.
sickness?
What makes sickness is
What makes
a
sickness?
body being vulnerable because of toxicity or starvation.
So fat people who get sick, they're not sick.
They're toxic from all the poison inside.
Oh, and that's
The
what gave
fat
you
and all that.
asthma?
No, that was from the vaccines as a child.
I got those vaccines. I didn't get asthma.
I know, but I got more. The more sick I got, the more shit I got.
I had way vaccines than you because I went to Saudi Arabia. I had to have every fucking vaccine on the planet to go to a third world country in the 70s, Scott, and I didn't get fucking asthma.
Well,
So I don't know what you're talking about. You're wrong.
I don't know that we got the exact same vaccines.
Well, I got all the same ones that everybody else on the planet got, and then about 100 more. And I didn't get asthma, oddly, and my mom didn't even nurse me, so I don't know.
I don't know. I got poison as a child.
Well, that would explain a lot. Did you ever think that might have impacted your brain?
Yeah, I got sick in 2009 when I got swine flu shot.
You got a swine flu shot? That's for pigs.
You realize that doctors get up to 90% of people vaccinated, they get tens of thousands of dollars in bonus from the drug companies for having hit a certain threshold. That's why they're trying to jab everybody, because they get bonuses if they have a certain percent of people of their patients that get these flu shots. Doctors aren't doing it.
Yeah, there was no such thing as polio, Scott. There was no such thing as scarlet fever, Scott. There was no such thing as smallpox,
Sick of stuff,
Scott.
but it was not. The vaccines did not stop it.
Really, what stopped it, Scott? The fact that we got vaccines and it stopped has nothing to do with each other.
Hygiene and different things like that. But
No, Scott. Polio was not a hygienic thing. Had nothing to do with hygiene.
Body starvation.
No, it was not body
environmental
starvation.
toxicity.
No, and it was not that. No, it was not.
From what I've studied, none of
Well,
these
you're
things
wrong. You're wrong, Scott. Phil's dad had polio. He had one leg like half the size of the other one. Go tell him why that happened.
I don't know why it happened.
Because you don't know anything.
I'm not denying things didn't happen to him. I'm just saying that their explanation's not accurate.
Why do you have to? Oh, it's fine. I'm not married to you. It doesn't matter. No, it's fine. It's fine.
People
It's
get
fine.
sick. I'm just
No.
saying
It's
whatever
fine.
explanation
It's
they
fine.
believe doesn't
It's fine.
mean
This does not reflect on me in any way.
people have their belief system
Yeah.
about what things are. But it doesn't mean it's true.
And that reflects on you as well, just so you know. That was true for
I believe
That's
the sun
true for everyone.
causes cancer when it's sunscreen that's causing it.
Yep.
But they'll believe it's the sun.
Yep. Nobody got skin cancer until there was sunscreen. That's for sure.
Sunscreen stocks.
I can help.
Don't get sick. I'm just
I don't know.
denying
Your parents would really be hard pressed to believe that we will get
I
sick.
know. I'm just denying the explanation that they believe is the actual.
So what are you going to do about it? Well, how are you going to fix sickness?
Other people.
How are you going to fix sickness if you don't believe in sickness or doctors or any kind of remedy?
Get sick. I can just.
How are you going to fix cancer?
I don't believe in cancer. It's just a description of a group of stuff to explain cells being starved. It doesn't.
Well, actually, there are actually cells that reproduce over the top, very healthy cells that take over a body inappropriately.
That's one explanation. That's not the for sure explanation.
Well, have you ever seen a cancer? It's not a small thing that keeps getting smaller by
There's
starvation.
viruses and they're called exosomes. They're not even viruses. When you see the things are called viruses, that's showing the body recovered from whatever poison. And that's what you're seeing is after the fact. It's like seeing the foam from a fire extinguisher after a fire's put out. You look at the foam and say, see, that burned down the building. No, it didn't. You're seeing the remnants of fire being put out. It's an exosome and it's not a fire. It's all wrong. They're all wrong about it. Medical
And what
community
makes you okay? So Scott, this is the thing I would just say to you. So you have had the life you've had based on your belief system, based on the choices you've made. You've had all the successes that you have had in your life. How do you think that you know more than everybody else who has managed?
I know more. I'm just saying that what
it
they
sounds like you think you know more.
does not make any sense to me, and it's very unscientific for what they keep saying is science. It's not.
Okay. I'm just wondering, like, if they're all wrong and doing it all wrong, how you're going to do it differently? Because it doesn't sound like you have any solutions. It kind of is.
They're all brainwashed. They're not going to believe me. How am I going to get this?
I don't know. I was just wondering what your solution was, because obviously you don't like the current
Yeah, listen to the
solution.
doctor that poisoned it. Every time I said the flu vaccine in what they say every time. No, it didn't. That's all they have to offer.
So you
is say
couldn't get
no.
sick from something other than a flu vaccine?
Because I'd never gotten sick before like that.
And you
I'd
had
never
the
gotten
flu
a
vaccine, yes, you
No, I
had.
had not.
Scott, you
Not
had
for
it
a
when we
long
were
time.
married. And it
Not
never
very
made you
often.
sick. You had it about 5 times while we were